Chapter 7. At the close of the next group session, Rebecca approached John. Dr. Sanders, Robert really liked the little engine that could. He picked up his notepad and planner from a neighboring chair, then offered Rebecca a smile. I'm glad to hear that. I think it's one of his favorites. She glanced down at the blanket before looking back at John. Great. Glad you both are enjoying it. He tucked the notepad and planner under his arm. In fact, I got another activity I think you'll enjoy. Do you like to draw? I think so, she said softly. And paint? She shrugged her shoulders. I don't know. You had some art lessons, some training when you were younger, is that right? Yes. So did you like to paint? I think it was a long time ago. Well, maybe it'd be nice for you to try it again. He motioned her to follow him out of the room, out into the hallway. Have you been to the workshop downstairs? He stepped in the direction of the workshop, but Rebecca held back. I don't think so. Well, why don't we get you set up to paint? I think you have time right now. She glanced the other direction, the way back to her room. I don't know if I should. Come on, it'll be fun. I've already spoken with the art therapist. She's busy right now, but she said I could set you up any time. And in a little while, when she's available, she'll come help you. No. Her voice was firm. What do you mean, no? I don't want to go down there. Rebecca, I think you'll like it. How about you give it a try? I want to stay here. She tilted her head in the direction of her room. I can bring you back. John shifted into a very casual tone. We won't be gone long. I just want to give you a little experience. No. She stepped backwards. Rebecca. Her eyes looked at him, determined. I don't want to. What if I brought some paints to your room? Would you try it? She kept her eyes on him, but did not reply. He took a step toward her, his voice calm. Would you paint if I got you the supplies? He thought he caught a faint smile on her lips. Will you paint something, Rebecca? She looked away, down at the floor, then back at John. On my own, she said. Don't bring that lady. The art therapist? Yes. All right, I won't. And I don't want your help. Okay. John nodded. We'll let you do it your way. Let me get you set up, then I'll give you your space. For the next half hour, John converted Rebecca's room into a small art studio. He flurried in and out, putting order to the materials, focusing on the opportunity for her to develop, treating the process like his own masterpiece. With the art supplies pressed between the desk table and the door, the room had transformed into a place of life and purpose. Meanwhile, she remained motionless, keeping her distance, separating herself from the bare canvas that rested against the wood easel. Your paints, Miss Rembrandt. Wait. She tightened her clutch around the blanket. I don't remember how. John picked up a brush. I can help you get started. She stared at the brush. No, I don't want your help. He shrugged. And you're sure you don't want the art therapist to come up? No, not her. All right, Rebecca. He kept his tone firm but calm. Then I guess you'll need to try it on your own. He slid the brush back into a container. There were so many choices down there. Watercolors, acrylics, oil-based paint. I didn't know what you liked, so I brought them all. What do you want to start with? I don't know. Well, he picked up a tray of paints. I'd recommend watercolors, but use whatever you want. She approached the assortment. Her fingers glided over the containers and rustled through the paintbrushes. Maybe I'll wait, she said. John pushed all painting tools aside and then selected a container of watercolors and a brush. How about this? Her arms tightened around the blanket, holding it as if the small bundle would protect her. I don't like watercolors. I like acrylics. Okay. John rearranged the paints and selected a thick paintbrush. Dr. Sanders, I don't think... You don't have to do anything spectacular. This isn't for anyone but you, unless you decide to share it. Here, take the brush. She accepted it with an apprehensive look. Don't worry, this is meant to be fun, enjoyable. Relax. What if I mess up? You can't. There's no right or wrong here, and you can always have somebody come... No. All right. Well, this is just an opportunity for you to exercise your creativity. And he took a step back and shrugged at her. You might find you enjoy it, like you did when you were younger. She peered at the blank canvas. What would I paint? John looked around the room. He'd been anticipating this question, hoping for it. Still, he played along. What could you paint? He walked around the room. He looked at her books and picked up one of the fairy tales. Then he set it down. Next to her books, he selected a vase with a plastic rose, only to shake his head. Finally, he turned to face her, his eyes resting on the blanket. What about your baby? You like portraits, don't you? Why don't you paint me a picture of Robert? She looked at the bundle. A peaceful smile spread across her lips. His plan was working. He picked up the easel and moved it toward the table. Here, why don't you put Robert here? He pointed at the table. That way your hands will be free, and you can still look at him. Her fingers compressed the bundle. I'll wait until after you leave. She didn't trust him. Fair enough, he said. Then why don't I leave, and you can get started? Okay. She glanced at the door. Today is Friday. John took a step backwards, toward the exit. I could come on Tuesday to see it. She nodded at him, still looking at the door. Or Monday? All right, I'll come then. I'm glad you'll give this a try. Rebecca offered him a smile, which he returned. She had accepted the project. This was good. Now she would just start to trust him.